On the end here, yeah.
Thanks very much. I'd just like to enlarge on that. I'm stewing a little bit in the corner here. I'm part of a band of merry public art curators who have actually, I hate to take the wind out of this whole argument, who've been involved with the public, with public commissions for 20 odd years. And we, of course, we involve the public. I mean, if it's a public domain, but we give them information. We give them loads of information. Never underestimate the public, never. Big mistake. If you give them the information, if you inform them sufficiently, why would they know about contemporary art? Of course, I mean, it's very, very unlikely, especially in the regions. I mean, most museums perhaps, or a lot of museums are still intimidating. But, so they're not going to know about the whole coterie of artists and what they're doing. But as soon as you inform them, as soon as you actually give them the material and the language, they realise they can talk in their own language. You know,
you're talking like as if 5-minute discussion about contemporary art suddenly makes them as valid as someone who spent their life.
Why can they not choose? Can they not be party to choosing the work? I mean, it's a ludicrous idea.
Why not just, I mean, my question often is, why not do nothing? Because well,
there's a lot of occasions, but why should artists and the public stop wanting art in the public domain? There's always been art in the public domain. It's always happened, you know, from Stonehenge onwards, from civilizations. They're always people are always inscribing something in the landscape. You want them to stop, and you only want it to happen in a gallery. It's ludicrous.
Well, I'm going to break in here because Gary from St Helens is live with us here in the audience. Can we get the microphone round to him here in the lilac top there? You rolled over what would otherwise have been an inflicted piece.
All I can say to you is if it hadn't been for the intervention of us, i.e. the public, we would have ended up with the as a bland miner's lamp, you know, a very literal statement on the site. And Jaume, who was a gentleman to work with, and all artists are not all bastards, the lovely guys who'll sit down and talk with you and discuss with you and listen to you about your aspirations for the site.
Had there been any consultation at all about the lamp?
Yes.
They had?
They had.
And so how did they arrive at it?
It didn't.
No, but I mean, they got to the point of proposing it.
That wasn't that was his initial proposal, but it wasn't his first idea.
I see. He'd been selected anyway,
yes.
And then he was manipulated towards a lamp.
No, he was given a brief of what we wanted for the site, but he looked through our eyes and produced something that he thought the public would like. And he was like totally took aback when we had to confront him and say to him, we need to push the boundaries on this. We're looking for something that's going to be a beacon of hope for the future. The site is now dead, but we need something that's going to take the site beyond what it stands for. If we'd had the miner's lamp, it would have kept us deep-rooted in the past. So then he came up to us and said, well, I don't think you'll like this, but this was my initial idea. And he rolled out Dream to us. And you know, we all think in St Helens now.
Does anybody ever come up to you and say, I did love the lamp?
Yes.
I wish we had a light there that we could come round at night. We could have a barbecue up there.
Absolutely.
We get married in front of it.
All the nostalgia lovers would want it that. But the lamp would have died with the site. Mm-hmm. And now we've produced something I think of a world-class sculpture by a world-class artist that will take not only the site, but I think the town as a beacon of hope to the future.
But you're really a Manura person who believes in cooperation between the authorities who select the artist and the public who want to choose what they do.
That's right, yeah. Like I said, we gave him a brief, but we gave him a brief to look at the site through his eyes. Mm-hmm. His first proposal to us was something looking through our eyes, and that's what we didn't want.
Well, the interesting thing is you've taken us onto an area which I think we should try to explore, and that is the question whether public art actually is any good at regenerating an area anyway, because that was the purpose of your project, and you said it's still pretty dead, but at least they come and look at what you've got.
That's right. The site was took over when the colliery finished by the Forestries Commission, and they landscaped the area. It would perhaps get 1 or 2 people if you was lucky per day. I went up Saturday evening at 9 o'clock and we passed just 25 people were up there, and that was a Saturday night, 9 o'clock.
Well, which is or does that just mean more people go for a picnic on the slag heap now?
I don't know. All I know is that we produced something on the site that people want to go.
Let's widen it out, because you talked about a beacon of hope in a desolate place. Perhaps people have better ideas of public art which have regenerated areas, which have been the focus from which a kind of overspill of redevelopment has occurred. I mean, is there any evidence that public art can regenerate an area?
I think it can, but it's quite a difficult thing to predict and to manage, and it doesn't always work. And what's interesting is after the Anthony Gormley, lots of councils rushed to have their own version of, and there are lots of angels being designed and produced, and it's very difficult once you've had the effect. You can't then recreate it many, many times again, because effectively you're still trying to attract the same people, you're trying to attract the same tourists. If everybody tries to do something unique and different, you actually end up looking quite similar. So I think that there is a risk of over-expectation of what public art can do. But it is a good thing to have public art because it can be beautiful, it can really enhance an area. It can also destroy an area, it can look really bad. That's why I think we have to recognise that judgments are not simply binary. I think Grayson's point that artists and art critics have a lot of authority and expertise is absolutely right. They can often see things, they can often judge with a heightened sense of taste perhaps. But there are artists out there who unbelievably do not like Anthony Gormley. Not all artists think the same or feel the same about art, and even though I think that authority is very important, we have to just be cautious about insisting that there is a right way and that there's absolute good art and that everyone will agree with it.